Hello, this is Grandmaster Ted Gambardella, and I want to ask you, what do you need to know to be a black belt? It never fails to amaze us how many people in the martial arts world think that their teacher and their style is the best, the greatest. No one does it better, harder, or knows more than them. And it just seems that so many martial artists have no respect for other styles because, even though they're only blue belts, they know more than people with 47 years of training. Just read some of the comments from the articles I've done over the years and you'll see that it's true. Yes, it's sad, but true, and we want to take just a minute to talk about just what is it you need to know to be a black belt in 95% of all the martial arts styles out there today. First of all, we want you to remember, or ask you to remember, your personal black belt test. Even though we realize that no one in the history of the world could have passed your test but you, we wanted to ask, how long did the test last? And did they leave anything out or forget to ask you to demonstrate something? Or did they, like 99% of all the instructors, ask you to show everything you knew and had ever learned for the last 3 to 6 years? Now please think hard. And we bet you might agree that you actually showed 95 to 99% of everything you knew in a test that lasted somewhere between 2 to 4 hours, with some breaks and downtime for you to recover from showing every single thing you knew in 2 to 4 hours. Now we'd like to point out to you, if you can show every single technique you know about anything in the world in 2 to 4 hours, you don't know that much. You really don't know as much as you think you know, and you're really not as great as you will become. You actually don't know more than about 120 different things. Kicks, punches, blocks, counters, self-defense, katas, flexibility, fighting, maybe a few weapons, if you call those pieces of balsa wood that weigh 1 ounce a weapon. Now don't get me wrong, you do know more than anybody who doesn't take martial arts and who hasn't been training for 4 years. But think how much more you will actually know and forget when you train for 47 years. And that brings me to my point about what you need to know to be a black belt. Not that much. You really start learning when you become a teacher, and also when you start taking new classes and learning new styles, etc. You learn more by teaching than you'll ever learn by taking a class. The longer you teach, the longer you train, the more you learn. We personally have black belts in 7 styles: Taekwondo, Okinawan Karate, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Akijitsu, Weapons, and Aikido. And I've trained, and I've written 42 books of over 4,200 pages. If you were to take 1 minute to look at each of these pages in these books at different techniques, it would take you about 70 hours just to look at the techniques that I know. And I've also done over 40 videos of an hour long. That's another 40 hours for a total of 110 hours just to watch and look at the techniques that I know. That would make a long black belt test, about 2 weeks, 8 hours a day. Here's the point. You don't really know much when you get your first degree black belt. You really start learning when you start teaching. The more you teach, the longer you teach, the more you learn. That is why we started the Martial Arts Masters Association, and why we only let 5th degree black belts or higher in with a minimum of 17 years of teaching experience. And to be in the Hall of Fame, you have to have 30 years of teaching experience. These great masters and grandmasters deserve your respect and admiration. And the next time you see a blue belt, a brown belt, or even a 1st degree acting the fool, you should just talk to them. They don't know anything compared to these great masters, and they should be quiet and learn. This is Grandmaster Ted Gambardella. I'll see you next time.